I don't know if you can see this book in the right way or not. It looks backwards to me on here, but this is the name of it's The Killing of Uncle Sam. And I was just wondering if you, by chance, may have read it. You know, some of the things that are happening in America today, and they're exposing some of the stuff. Actually, it was in this book several years ago. But my question is, do you even read? You know, here's a terrific book that at your table I'm going to suggest everybody: The Killing of Uncle Sam, The American Story with David and Tim Barton. An excellent true history book. Obviously for pastors is The Black Robe Regiment. If you as a pastor are not familiar with the Black Robe Regiment, you're denying yourself truth and history about pastors in America. You need to know this, the Black Robe Regiment. And of course, Israel, what's going on in Israel, the truth about Palestine, Israel, the Bible, and the battle of the truth. This is another great book by a Christian messianic in Israel, and actually Swedish on top of that. So great book. And one other is there's one by Rick Scarborough that I just love, America in the Balance, America in the Balance. I'm going to just challenge you at your table. Do you actually read? Oh, there's one more by David Gibbs Jr. that Linda and I just love, One Nation Under God. If you homeschool, this is one you need. Pastors, you need. You know, we've talked about teaching history in our church and about the church and what's going on. And Bill Federer has some great books. I personally believe we need to know our history. Does history repeat itself? Can we learn from our history? The problem we have today is that people have been lying about history. They've been giving false information, and our children are very, very uneducated about our past, and so they don't know who we are in many cases. And so I'm going to recommend to you at your table to talk about reading and talk about some books and do something out of the box. You know, wherever you are in whatever country you're in, you know, in America, again, this One Nation Under God, the Black Robe Regiment, America in the Balance. I'm telling you, these books are priceless. The American Story. This is a foundational truth that every church, every pastor ought to have and ought to know this. And of course, this one was co-written by a pastor, The Killing of Uncle Sam. I'll tell you, we need to know our history. We need to know our roots. Our roots are Judeo-Christian roots, Christian roots, but we need to know our national roots, our community roots. We need to know, and if our children do not know the truth, who's going to teach them? I personally believe that we as a church and we as mothers and dads, and we need to take that upon ourselves and not rely on the public schools, and we're not rely on the internet, and not rely on other people to teach our children our history and what's going on. Sit down and talk with them. Have a conversation. Did you know this about George Washington? Did you know this about Benjamin Franklin? Oh yeah, Benjamin Franklin was a religious guy that most people don't have an idea. They think of him as some heathen of the past, one of the founding fathers that was not Christian. You need to study to know about some of these founding fathers, some of our history, some of the pastors that did so much for us to give us the heritage and the freedom that we have today. And yes, pastors paid with their own blood so that we would have this freedom. It's an amazing story of America, and it's amazing that our Constitution was founded upon the very first covenant that God had with the children of Israel. 400-year covenant is what our Constitution is founded on. God bless you. We love you. We're praying for you. And at your table, I challenge you to take this on and talk about it today. God bless.